In the Horn of Africa, one group of people is split by history and politics, Somalia and Somaliland. They share the same language, culture, and religion, but they have lived apart for over 30 years, each with its own government and flag. Somaliland, on the northern coast, is in a good spot along global trade routes, while Somalia stretches south with Mogadishu as its main city. The idea of a single Somali country is new, born from dreams after colonial rule, but broken by power struggles. Somaliland has built a steady, democratic country, but it's still not officially recognized. Somalia, on the other hand, faces ongoing fighting and problems. This story is about old colonial rules, civil war, and the search for who they are. Why Somaliland's independence is not accepted, and what that means for millions of people. The future of this divided land is still being decided. The reasons for the split go back to the late 1800s when Britain controlled the north and Italy controlled the south, creating two very different societies. After World War II, a strong feeling of wanting all Somalis to be together led to the 1960 joining of British Somaliland and Italian Somaliland, hoping for a bigger Somalia. But the good feelings quickly disappeared as power became centered in Mogadishu, making people in the north feel left out and unimportant. Different laws and customs made the split deeper, and a vote in 1961 showed that people in the north were unhappy. An attempted takeover by northern officers showed how shaky the union was. The dream of being united turned into anger, as the north's hopes for being treated equally were crushed. Early problems in the union set the stage for future fighting. The reasons for the split had been planted. In 1969, General Siad Barre took power. He promised to make things better but instead brought harsh rule and favored certain groups. The North, already feeling left out, became a target for brutal attacks as the Somali national movement rose up against him. Barre's government caused terror, bombing cities like Hargeisa, killing many innocent people and destroying buildings. The Isaac genocide in the late 1980s left tens of thousands dead and hundreds of thousands forced to leave their homes. For Somalilanders, the union was shattered by bloodshed. Mogadishu's government became an enemy, not a friend. When Barre's government fell apart in 1991, the North saw no future in staying united. The only way forward was to break away and build a new country. The dream of 1960 was gone, replaced by a desperate need to survive. As Somalia fell into civil war in 1991, leaders in the North took the chance to start fresh. In May 1991, at a big meeting in Burao, Somaliland declared its independence, going back to the borders of the old British protectorate. This wasn't about leaving, but about ending a union that had failed. Somalilanders, tired from war, welcomed peace and stability. Through traditional talks between different groups, they disarmed fighters and built a unique mix of democracy. Somaliland created its own constitution, money, army, and held free elections, rebuilding Hargeisa from ruins. While Somalia remained in chaos, Somaliland became a peaceful and democratic place. Yet, even with all its achievements, the world refused to officially recognize its independence. Even though it built a peaceful, democratic country, Somaliland is still not recognized, stuck in a diplomatic waiting game. The African Union worries that recognizing Somaliland would encourage other groups to try to break away, threatening Africa's shaky borders. Somalia's government insists Somaliland is part of it, and the world supports Mogadishu's claim to keep the region stable. Big countries like the US and UK focus on fighting extremism and piracy, sticking to a one Somalia policy. International help and money don't go to Somaliland, slowing its growth. Even though Somaliland meets the requirements to be a country, global politics keep it hidden. Unofficial connections exist, but official recognition is still out of reach. Somaliland's fight for official status is blocked by fears of setting a bad example and causing instability. Today, the split between Somalia and Somaliland is as deep as ever. Somaliland keeps holding elections and trying to get recognized, recently signing a controversial deal with Ethiopia. For its young people, joining Somalia again is unthinkable. They see themselves as Somalilanders. Somalia, meanwhile, struggles to be stable, fighting extremism and internal divisions. Talks between the two sides have stopped, with each refusing to give in on key issues. The world's one Somalia stance leaves Somaliland in limbo, but its persistence might still force a change. For now, two different paths exist: a country that acts like a state but isn't recognized, and a nation trying to be united, both hoping for a future of peace and solutions.